Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers and Ask Luke. Obviously there's been loads of questions like this, so I've had to put this ahead purely because it's, the current affairs and current topics, but I will get to answering other questions, as and when they come in. I've got loads on my phone saved, the questions come in all the time now, so I've got loads of content now, but yeah, keep the questions coming in. Anyway, today's question was, what do I feel should be the punishment and what will be the punishment for the top 6 clubs that threaten to walk away from the Premier League and join the European Super League, that all fell to pieces and capitulated on Tuesday night. Listen, if it was me, I would absolutely throw the book at them. I really, really would. I don't agree with the relegation stuff, I'll be honest with you. I would have done the relegation stuff if it would have gone through, and it was carrying on, and if they ever wanted to rejoin and stuff like that. I wouldn't go that far. A points deduction, there's an argument for that. Just to set a rhetoric of, you can't do this again. You've brought the game into disrepute. There's a lot of people arguing about shouldn't take it out on the fans. Okay, I agree. It's not the fans' fault. It's not the players' fault. It's not the manager's fault. A lot of the stuff that has happened to other clubs, though, that have, gone into administration or, betting scandals even for Juventus, for example. It's not the fans that did that, Rangers and things like that. It's not the fans that did that. It's the board. It's the club level stuff. Board level stuff. The Carlos Tevez stuff for West Ham. It wasn't the fans that wanted that bought Carlos Tevez. We wasn't deducted points, but we were. We was given a £25 million fine that at the time could have bankrupted us. It was a massive, massive blow to our finances for years. And for a long time we suffered the brunt of that, not being able to sign players off the back of that. That's just, and then from that we've voiced our anger towards the board even more, and and the board will, face the brunt of years of that and not, not investing and stuff like that, and same with the clubs that are in this European Super League. If points were deducted or fines, etc., or relegations, these clubs would voice their blame towards the boards. That their anger would be even more towards the Cronkiers, the Henrys, the Glaziers, to name a few, because they would have brought them to that, and it would just be the Premier League, going through their own sanctions. But the question is, what would I do? So I personally think these clubs should be banned from Europe for a year. Tottenham probably won't be in Europe anyway, like Arsenal, for example. But take Europe away from them for a year. Because, again, that hits the pockets because they haven't got the TV revenue, they haven't got the ticket sales, and, it takes that away from them. And I would also put a transfer embargo on these teams as well, that they cannot buy players for a year. Just to sort of, again, I think it would slightly even up the balance a little bit for a year. I think the Euro ban, the European ban, the Champions League and Europa League ban is a must for me. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. Again, UEFA were very quick to start backtracking as soon as teams started saying they were leaving. It was like, we welcome this, thank you for dropping out. And it was as if they were apologising for them even thinking of joining. Do you know what I'm saying? What do I think will happen? Nothing. I really do. I don't think anything will happen at all. it may force some of the owners, you know, out of the club slightly quicker, especially if fans do come back in their masses in September, August, September time. They could be more vocal. They'll never be forgiven for what they've done now. You know, these clubs, and there'll be a lot more, you know, a lot more than just GSB out now. Kroenke are out, Glazier's out, Henry out, to name but a few. Yeah, I don't think anything will happen. I really don't. It's wrong. It's wrong. You know, and there's even some people that you know that are arguing that, well, what have they actually done wrong? You know, they haven't joined it now. They've come out, but that's because their bottle went, and the fans didn't want it. They still were signed up to go ahead with it. And trust me, if the fans would have been behind it, their fans would have been behind it, and there wouldn't have been so, like, the threats wouldn't have been as thingy from like someone like Boris Johnson and, you know, the government. They would have gone through with it, and they would have hung out us clubs to dry. You know, we would have been scraping, you know, for the money, losing big players because they'd all want to potentially go and play in these big leagues and stuff like that. Like I say, the consequences of doing nothing just leaves it open to be potentially done again, and they try and come up with a different sort of scheme to get it to work. And my fear, a bit like Gonzo, my fear is with UEFA coming up with something that is not European Super League in name only. You know, a bit like when they were saying, oh, it's Brexit in name only, or stuff like that during all the Brexit debates and stuff. It would be like that. It's European Super League, but not in name. So it's called something else, but really it protects these elite clubs so they can consistently, you know, always have a piece of that pie, always be in Europe, always be a big part of the money and stuff like that. I put a tweet out, you know, when it all sort of started to fail, about the whole point of football. Again, it's cliche, but it's the journey. You know, teams like, I keep repeating, teams like Nottingham Forest, you know, were massive, massive clubs. And if you would have told, you know, like Nottingham Forest in the 70s or whatever, that, you know, you'd actually only have ever had a couple of years in the Premier League one day. And the thought of you ever winning the European Cup is, you know, madness, dream world. Do you know what I mean? If you would have said to Liverpool in 1990 that you won't win a Premier League title for 31 years, again, they would have been saying you're talking absolute madness. When Alex Ferguson left Manchester United, and if you would have said to them, you know, you're not going to win a Premier League for a very long time. Same with Arsenal, that Invisibles, you know, the 2003, 2004 team, you would have said to them, oh, you're not going to win it. The whole point of football is you have ups and downs. You have a curve of fantastic times, and for those big six clubs, they've had amazing times. You know, the Premier Leagues, the Champions Leagues, the La Ligas, the Serie A titles for the Juves and stuff like that. The fact that they was willing to take that journey away and, you know, give other teams that dream that one day they could do it. You know, so say for example, like West Ham get Champions League this year, and, you know, we get a bit of money, we can attract some players, and we start building a process. We might not get there again for a couple of years, but then we do again, and you start seeing this progression, and maybe it becomes our time to have that, you know, like a 10-year period of West Ham winning some FA Cups and, you know, competing in the Champions League, not winning it, but, you know, like competing there and having a moment in this amazing time. If this would have happened, it would have took all that away. And, you know, teams have to have that bad time. Real Madrid are in massive, massive debt. Barcelona are in massive, massive debt. That's their own fault. Leeds United have done it. Leeds United, you know, they tried to buy the dream. Credit to them. They went for it. They suffered. You know, 16 years of out of the Premier League. That is football, and that's what makes it great. And, you know, Leeds United have been out for a long, long time. But would they have taken away that dream of what they had a few, you know, 15, 16 years ago, you know, playing in semi-finals of the Champions League? Yes, they've been out for a long, long time, but how do they feel now that they're back? Because they've done that journey. There was a generation of Leeds fans that hadn't even experienced the Premier League. And, you know, the fact that that may have been taken away, that is why they should be punished. It should. Because they were willing and fully prepared to take that journey and that experience and that love of football away. I don't think they will be punished, guys. I really, 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 really don't. I do not think they will be punished at all. I think there's too much of that money that they know that they bring to the table with the Sky Sports deals, the Amazon, the BT Sport, the Champions League. You know, they're the glamour teams. That even though they were prepared to upset the apple cart, I don't think the apple cart is prepared to lose the apples by upsetting them. So, for me, nothing will happen. Let me know what you guys think. I have rambled a little bit and gone off on tangents, but, you know, these sort of videos, that's what happens, you know. You get very, very passionate about these sort of things. But, yeah, thanks for the question in the Arse Loop series. Until next time, guys, come in your minds, keep believing. Let's go.